Okay, couple things I gotta go over really quick with you guys. A, sorry for the low quality of the footage. I ran into a bunch of issues recording this particular game. I don't even want to go into it, because I really don't have time to go into it. But let's just say Fraps didn't want to work with, either of my Super Nintendo emulators, so I had to use an in-game recorder on one of the emulators, and that recorder decided it was a really nice idea to corrupt half my fucking footage. So I missed a big part of the game for this, which I guess is a micro review, so I can kind of get away with that. In addition, you should also know that I'm attempting to use a different microphone because it got people complaining that my headset mic doesn't really handle me yelling that loudly very well, and that I should use the noise removal in Audacity, except for the fact that I don't fucking use Audacity because Audacity likes to crash and corrupt all my audio after I'm done recording, and that's really annoying. So we're gonna try a different microphone and see if that helps. Alright, this review comes in from a guy named Fenris Silver, and he wants me to review Clock Tower for the Super Nintendo, and I didn't really know what to expect with this one. I mean, I heard Clock Tower was scary, but when I went into it, I have to admit I was a bit skeptical of that because it's a Super Nintendo game, and, when you talk about old school scary games, I was under the impression the games really didn't get truly, honest to God, scary, at least when it came to consoles, till maybe the first Resident Evil, though I would argue that it didn't become really scary until the first Silent Hill on the same console. So going in, I was like, this game is a Super Nintendo game, it's not gonna be scary, and there's the wrongness of that statement. I swear I have made this mistake twice now. First with LSD, and now with this. And this game's not going to be scary, and the game fixes that right up. I am seriously impressed with how well they made this game, scary. It is legit scary. In many ways, especially, for a 2D point-and-click game on a Super Nintendo. This is some impressive stuff. And I would also point out that this is one of the earliest examples of a proper survival horror game. Because it's unique in the sense that, unlike a lot of other survival horror games, like even Resident Evil and Silent Hill, there's no combat in this game. So it's a lot closer to, maybe Silent Hill Shattered Memories, or even more so, I would argue, it's more like Penumbra or Amnesia for the PC, if you played either of those games, where there's no combat, really. You don't fight anything. You run from everything, and in this case, it's just just this one serial killer, Scissor Man, and you run from him, and that's what you do. It's about survival. It's not about fighting at all. And there are puzzles to solve and items to collect. It feels a lot like a classic survival horror experience. And thus, I would say this is an early example of that. I think that there were a few other games on the PC that were out before this one, but this is the first example I can think of on a console. And considering the only, proper horror games I can think of on a console consist of Splatterhouse, which doesn't exactly count in the scary department. That was more of a gore fest. This is impressive. Honestly, I really genuinely cannot recommend this game enough if you are a fan of the survival horror genre. It has a few sequels that are apparently pretty decent, but I would actually recommend this one on the basis that it's the only one I've played so far. In addition, I will also mention that while this game never saw a release outside of Japan, there are copies of the ROM with hacked English translations, so that solves that problem right now, doesn't it? But yeah, if you're a fan of survival horror games or point-and-click adventure games, this is a game to try. Not really much for me because I really can't stress this enough. My name is Darkness the Curse. Doesn't mean I like horror games. I like a small handful, but I don't like getting scared. And when a game starts to scare me, outright, it's very hard for me to keep playing. Which was the case here. It gets pretty scary. It does. Especially for what it is. I was genuinely surprised and impressed with the level of depth this game had when it came to being a horror game. So, definitely full marks on this one. Give it a try if you can. Well worth it if you're a fan of the genre. Till next time, this is Darkness, and I bid you all a fond farewell. Hey guys, and Slate. Woohoo, sorry I'm feeling a bit down today. Down. Not up, but down. Speaking of down, though, you're gonna see some videos off to the sides of this thing. They're probably horror related. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think down here there's probably a Silent Hill game. Probably Shattered Memories. And over here, I'm probably gonna put down the Let's Play of frickin' Cry of Fear that I never finished because fuck that game. No, just no. No. Just no. And sorry again for that low quality footage. I noticed at some points you may have noticed there was a little bit of a flashy effect going on between the border of the game and the menu. That wasn't the game. That was the frickin' recorder. Never again. Next time I review a Super Nintendo game, which will probably be a while. I don't know. I have to go through the list again. I will find a way to correct that problem, but, I got away with it this once. Below the video in the description, you will find a bunch of links you should click on, namely Facebook and Twitter and Patreon. Maybe not Patreon, I don't necessarily have to click on that one, but Facebook and Twitter you should click on because that doesn't cost you any money. That's always nice. But specifically, you should also click the like or dislike button, preferably the like button. I like that one a lot better than the dislike button. But if you didn't like this video for whatever reason, you can also click the dislike button. That is also an option open to you. Preferably like, but dislike is okay. But definitely click that like button. Yeah. Also, click on me if you feel like subscribing. That's a good idea. If you want more content, want more videos, you want more? Then you need to subscribe. Do it. Yeah.